my first knowledge of Chicago was watching the movie, which I really enjoyed, but the movie is so cinematic. There's so many quick cuts and dissolves and fades and all that. I was really curious as to how this would play in a theater. So I saw another theater do it several years ago, continued to love it. The music really speaks to me because it's jazz. I'm a jazz fan, and I used to play in a jazz band. It's the real deal. The music really sounds like the music of the 20s. Mostly though, there's a message. There's certainly a message about sort of what fame is and how corrupt the idea of fame can be, and the path to fame, how desirable it is, and how much we as Americans in particular love it and will exploit it in any way. It's a great message, but even more than that, it's a really fun, funny, hilarious show, and a big song and dance, and I think that's the most important thing. What I think is kind of revolutionary about the show is that these women get to do all these horrible things that usually only men get to do in shows. I think that's the important thing. It's letting women on being bad and having fun while doing it and being amoral and these things that guys get to do all the time in shows. And so I think that's what makes it really revolutionary as far as women goes. Since I'm not a woman, and since I think one thing it helps me when I'm directing a show that's not about men, it takes me out of the equation a little bit. It allows me, instead of really trying to direct and say, here's what I think you should do, it's much more give and take. So I think it helps me do that. When it's not a man, sometimes if it's a man, I start to think, this is what I would do. This is how I think it should go. And I don't want to do that. I never want to do that. And I want it to be the actor's performance, not mine. So in trying to shape that, I think when it's a women who have the lead, as a director, it's very interesting to get their perspective on things and then work together as opposed to me giving my perspective on